Time is a heavenly influence flowing from the light source through the worlds of light to earth, our home and our souls. It is nourishing, giving us life and the force of creation. This is life. Time is an influence that changes every day, every week, month, and year. The Holy Bible describes the true connection to God through time. The word time in Hebrew is a three-letter word, an acronym for time, space, and soul. Modern physics, quantum physics, which reveal the connection between time and space, cannot get the complete picture because it does not acknowledge the spiritual creation and the Creator, our God. We are light entities. We are souls existing in a spiritual creation called night, and there was evening, and there was morning, one day. The day starts in the evening. First there was an evening, and then a morning. And until today, the count of the synodic Hebrew calendar starts in the evening. Thus, at sunset, a new day begins. A new divine influence enters the sacred space of earth. So the traditional interpretation of the order of creation is wrong. And how do I know that? Well, it all started one Friday in 2004. I had the weekend off with my husband. We were in the hotel room, and I took a nap. A long working week was over. In my sleep, I had a dream, and in my dream, I saw a massive ancient book wide open in front of me. Then two letters grew from the text and transformed into the image of two people. They had colorful robes with unique accessories. Only years later, I Googled it and saw that they were the official dresses of the high priests. They made me feel joy and said, "We are Moses and Aaron, and if you will sanctify on the seventh day, the Shabbat, we will teach you the secrets of this book." Well, I woke up with a spiritual uplift. And then I said to myself, "Oh, me and my dreams." Well, it is true. I have had prophetic dreams and spiritual revelations since an early age. I remember in kindergarten, I was walking, and my spiritual guide talked to me, telling me there were passages between the worlds of light and our world. One of them is in Jerusalem, he said. Where do you think the others are? So it took me around 10 years to awaken. Then finally I reached a spiritual state where I felt my soul suffocating, like a man in the desert without water. I had already forgotten about the dream, yet I decided to listen to the inner voice, telling me to stop driving the car on the seventh day. One thing led to another. Finally, after a year of sanctifying the Shabbat, I received sacred information revealing a secret cipher hidden in the Holy Bible, including names and angels' sacred geometry. For 3 years, I sat and wrote and edited the sacred knowledge into a book. God's influence is so delicate that it takes time to feel the change in the light organs of the soul. Later, I was shown it is like a lace embroidery, a lace of light. The essence of the change was transforming from life according to the Gregorian calendar to life according to the biblical synodic calendar. Today, the day I chose to start creating this podcast is the full moon of Aquarius. Therefore, this day influences the spiritual creation and the tree of life. It is the new year of the soul, the beginning of a new spiritual journey. Going back to the beginning of time, the beginning of creation, there was no time. So the soul was created in an infinite space before the creation of time. The prophet Isaiah tells us, "For as the days of the tree are the days of my people," in chapter 65. The souls of the ancient Hebrews were created at this divine magical beginning. This is how we get our inspirations, dreams, and wishes. We live in a three-dimensional world: time, space, and soul. The day you were born is a point that has meaning. It is not random, and it connects to the essence of your soul, the mission you have in this world. Your soul comes to this world through a secure passage that is the passage of time. Your soul appeared at a certain divine point that references space, where you were born on earth. When you are born into this world, into a human body, you stay connected to the passage of time and God's influence, flowing to our soul and nourishing us with the love of God. This is how we get our inspirations, dreams, and wishes. We live in a three-dimensional world: time, space, and soul. The day you were born is a point that has meaning. It is not random, and it connects to the essence of your soul, the mission you have in this world. Your soul comes to this world through a secure passage that is the passage of time. Your soul appeared at a certain divine point that references space, where you were born on earth. When you are born into this world, into a human body, you stay connected to the passage of time and God's influence. Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 to 5. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Now the earth was unformed and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. This was the beginning of time. Earth was created. It was a blue planet, one ocean. The Spirit of God hovered over the face of the water. God started to differentiate the oneness, divided the light from the darkness, and then created the day as the basic unit of time. Genesis chapter 1, verses 5 till 8. And God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. And there was evening, and there was morning one day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. So on the first day, God differentiated the water into holy and earthly waters. This action has a deeper meaning and is well explained in the book I wrote, and I will clarify later the meaning and implications of this secret and how we can use it daily. The second day, from chapter 1, verses 9 to 12. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth put forth grass, herb yielding seed, and fruit tree bearing fruit after its kind, wherein is the seed thereof upon the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, herb yielding seed after its kind, and tree bearing fruit, wherein is the seed thereof after its kind. And God saw that it was good. On the second day, God revealed the earth and gathered the water into one place. So the blue planet transformed to be blue and golden brown. There was one ocean and one land, one continent. God created a garden on earth, green grass and fruit trees. And there was evening, and there was morning, a third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven, to divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. On the third day, God created the universe around Earth and the solar system. The spiritual meaning of that is like birth, which is why Tuesday is considered a lucky day. Spiritually, God created the passage of time and connected it to Earth. The solar system, the two great lights, are signs. They signify the spiritual course of God's influence on Earth. I will dedicate a whole chapter to this issue and how we can benefit from knowing and understanding the signs. The fourth day, Genesis chapter 1, verses 19 to 22. And there was evening, and there was morning, a fourth day. And God said, "Let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures, and let fowl fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven." And God created the great sea monsters, and every living creature that creepeth, wherewith the waters swarmed after its kind, and every winged fowl after its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth." The fifth day, Genesis chapter 1, verses 23 to 31. And there was evening, and there was morning, a fifth day. And God said, Let the earth bring forth the living creature after its kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after its kind. And it was so. And God made the beast of the earth after its kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the ground after its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. And God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, Be fruitful, be multiplied, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that creepeth upon the earth. And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb yielding seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for food. And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made. And behold, it was very good. On the fifth day, God continues to create life on earth, and then creates man and woman. We learn that spiritually, the soul has two effects. God has a divine feminine entity and a divine masculine entity. And God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he him. In verse 29 we learn that the living creatures were meant to be vegans. And moreover, the animals have souls like humans. It says, And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb yielding seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for food. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is a living soul, I have given every green herb for food. And it was so. And God saw everything he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. From what I was told in the original version of the Bible, the first chapter of Genesis ends at verse 4 in the second chapter of Genesis as it appears today. So let us read it together and see how it makes sense. Chapter 1, verse 31. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. And now, verse 1 of chapter 2 until 4. And the heaven and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. On the seventh day, God finished his work, which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and hallowed it, because that in it he rested from all his work which God in creating had made. These are the generations of the heaven and of the earth, when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made earth and heaven. On the sixth day, God synchronizes his creation. It is the fine-tuning of life on earth. And the heaven and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. Meaning, we are temporary visitors to this sacred space, and God is our host. The soul is a light entity, like the angels and the spiritual empire, and God created the seventh day with a blessing. The seventh day carries spiritual gifts. It is a day of divine influence all over planet Earth. The way to connect to this heavenly blessing is by avoiding the element of earthly fire due to its low frequency. The frequency of the Creator and his entourage's presence is so high that the earthly fire, like electricity, moves them away from the soul. This is the essence of sanctifying in the seventh day, the Shabbat. These are the generations of the heaven and the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made earth and heaven. This verse concludes the story of creation, the spiritual and the physical creation, and how they were synchronized together. The generations, not the week of creation. It was a gradual process, yet it had phases or days. 8 days. There are 7 days of creation, and the 8th is infinite time, the space where the soul is created, infinite and endless, like his divine presence that was before the creation and will always be.